What's up guys, Mickle here, and earlier today the BRICS nations announced they were going to be building an instant settlement platform using a cryptocurrency to move money all around the world. And as you can imagine, this led to a lot of speculation where some people were saying this means XRP is dead, this means XRP has completely failed, and other people were saying this means that the BRICS nations are using XRP for their instant settlement platform. In this video, we're going to be talking about what is exactly going on here, what you need to understand, and what is really being built, and the most important takeaways you need to understand from what is taking place in this announcement right now. I also want to talk about the massive liquidation that happened earlier today, in which we saw cryptocurrencies fall off a cliff. I want to show you some charts in this video that will let you know whether or not the thesis is still in play, whether or not we have done any serious long-term damage to the charts, or whether or not this was just a quick pullback on the road to much higher prices ahead. Like always, your support means so much to this channel. Thank you to everyone who likes the videos and to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out so much. Also, if you ever need a place to buy some XRP, make sure to check out my favorite exchange Uphold down in the description of this video. With that said, let's jump right into it right after a quick word from the sponsor of this video. So I want to start this video off with a quick, very exciting announcement, and that is that the EVM Side Chain is absolutely exploding. We got an announcement earlier today from one of the lead developers building the EVM Side Chain that right now we already have over 100,000 developers looking to build on this EVM Side Chain and over 1,000 contracts already put in beta. This is super exciting because one of the things the XRP ledger has lacked for a very long time now is developers. When the XRP ledger was first created, it was the best blockchain for payments, but there's only so many different ways you can do a payment, right? I can send you money point A to point B, we can send money to someone else, and while the payments themselves were very innovative in how the money was moving, there's not that many different ways you can build applications on top of that. Ripple has the biggest one, using XRP to move money all around the world. It's the obvious use case for payments. But outside of that, without smart contracts, it's really hard to develop new and exciting things like DeFi. But what we are seeing is that the EVM sidechain is going to be the perfect link in building DeFi on the XRP ledger. Now, it's extremely important that we don't understate just how insane this is. 100,000 developers and 1,000 smart contracts means that something happened here that was a smashing success. And that smashing success is that they didn't try to reinvent the wheel. What we know is most developers out there already prefer coding in an EVM environment. So rather than people trying to build a new set of standards for building smart contracts on the XRP ledger, the people behind this project said, hey, let's just use the standards that most of the developers out there are already comfortable with. And then we can leverage the speed and efficiency of the XRP ledger so that all the people who are building applications on Ethereum can just come over and say, hey, let me build that same application I was working on, only in a faster and more efficient environment. In my eyes, this was absolutely genius, because rather than expecting all these developers to learn a new language, rather than expecting these developers to restart and start from square one, they can take all the knowledge they already have, bring it to the XRP ledger, a production grade blockchain that isn't going to require $100 fees to move value from point A to point B, isn't going to require 15-minute settlement times. This was absolutely genius, and what we're seeing from the early stats is that this is going to be a massive success. I'm super excited to see how this develops, because ultimately the more applications, the more protocols, the more things we have on the XRP ledger to utilize, the more people who are going to come into this ecosystem and the more people who are going to buy XRP to participate. Just wanted to share this with you because it is a smashing success and really exciting for the future of the EVM sidechain. I want to move on though and talk about the main topic here, which is BRICS creating their own cryptocurrency platform to move value all around the world. Now, I saw about every single take possible on Twitter earlier earlier today. People saying this means XRP is dead. People saying this means XRP is involved. I want to give you my thoughts. So first of all, it's really important to understand the BRICS nations are not going to create a decentralized open source protocol. They want control of it, just like the US controls the current settlement system in SWIFT. BRICS is going to want to have control over the system they are putting out there, and most of the other countries who aren't in BRICS aren't going to trust this system either way. Why? Because it is obviously going to be controlled by the BRICS nations. Now, to me, this makes it fairly obvious that it's not going to run on the XRP ledger, right? The XRP ledger is an open source decentralized protocol. It doesn't make sense for nations who want to control the system to build that system on the XRP ledger. It makes so much more sense for them to build their own separate system and the XRP ledger to hook up to it. And why would that need to happen? Well, what we can see clearly by this announcement is that the world is separating. Every single country wants its own system. Every single country wants its own independent currency, and they don't want to have to rely on other nations in order to use these value system protocols. What the XRP ledger is positioned perfectly to do is link all these different nations together. One of the bearish cases for XRP was if the entire world just got along. If everyone just decided, you know what, SWIFT has been responsible, we'll just keep using SWIFT. You know what, we can trust the US dollar. It's not really a big deal. We don't care that they froze all our assets at one time. We're just going to keep working with the US dollar and keep working within this one centralized system because you know what, at the end of the day, we can all get along. That was the bearish case for XRP. BRICS building their own settlement system, other nations pulling out of BRICS, other nations joining BRICS. The divide, the uncertainty, the lack of trust in the world is what makes XRP so critical in the future we are heading into. The more we have countries pulling away from each other, the more we have countries building their own system like BRICS, the more we are going to need a neutral, decentralized settlement asset between all the systems. XRP was always positioned for this world. XRP was always positioned for a world in which different nations were setting up their own systems because even though nations don't trust each other, even though nations don't want to work together, they're still going to have to, and they're still going to have to interact with each other in systems that no one controls. And that is where XRP is being perfectly situated. So do I think this new system being built by BRICS is any kind of threat to XRP? Absolutely not. I think it makes XRP more important, but do I think they were building it on the XRP ledger? No, probably not, because it just doesn't really make any sense for them to do that. They're going to want a centralized system. They're going to want something they control over. But the most important part that I think most people are missing is overall, this drives value to a future with decentralized, neutral, liquid settlement assets. That is what XRP is. That is what it was positioned to be from the start. And Ripple has been saying since day one, we at Ripple have a vision for an internet of value, interconnecting value networks with a free-flowing digital asset in the middle as liquidity. This is where XRP is being positioned. These different centralized countries are not going to build their entire settlement systems, their entire internal banking softwares on the XRP ledger. That is for centralized closed source technology. But the more centralized closed source technology you have, the more you are going to need neutral, decentralized liquid protocols linking them all together. That is where XRP is positioned. That is always where it was supposed to be positioned. And what we are seeing is the world we are moving into is further validating that thesis. Guys, I want to finish this video off and just quickly call something to your attention because I saw a lot of people kind of freaking out earlier today about the dip we are seeing in the cryptocurrency market. Guys, Caleb is someone who I put a lot of respect on X. He has some amazing calls and he said such a scam shakeout. I'm more bullish than ever before, and I completely feel the same way. What we saw was massive wicks on all the exchanges, and to me, this looked like grade A manipulation. You do not see wicks this long unless institutions are trying to acquire these assets at rock bottom prices. What we saw to me is institutions using leverage against retail to accumulate more cryptocurrency. These institutions can see all your orders. They know where the leverage is and they know where to liquidate it. What we are seeing is that as we go further in this bull market, the Wicks are being bought up faster and faster as institutions use them to accumulate these cryptocurrencies at rock bottom prices. Institutions are stepping into this asset class in a very big way, and I don't think it's stopping anytime soon. We are just at the start. We just saw the first ever cryptocurrency ETF, and I think we are going to see so much more as more of these assets are brought into the traditional financial system. And with all that said, we'll jump into the XRP price chart real quick and see if any damage was done by the liquidation earlier today. And what you're going to see is not going to shock you at all. What we saw is XRP perfectly stayed within this symmetrical triangle pattern. It kind of got rejected off this top resistance line, but I think we're going to be pushing back against it very soon. Like I said, institutions are eating these dips up. Institutions know the power of XRP. They know how XRP is being positioned in the world. Guys, this liquidation we saw really meant nothing for the long-term XRP price chart, and what we're doing is still bouncing around in this symmetrical triangle. We are going to get something that breaks us out the top of this thing. We are just patiently waiting for that event to occur. What we saw earlier today was nothing short of predictable. I said very clearly on this channel, until XRP really starts putting in a God candle upward, it hasn't broken out yet. It's pushing against this resistance, but the important part to note is nothing we saw earlier today invalidates anything. We're still sitting here waiting for the breakout, and I have a feeling we're going to be pushing up back against this resistance a lot sooner than later as institutions reposition themselves and take advantage of the retail liquidations. Guys, these institutions are not here for a quick flip. They're not here for a quick trade. They are here for long-term accumulation of this asset class because they understand it's the next generation financial system. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for coming. I hope you enjoyed this update. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. It really does mean so much. And for now, Mickle out.